Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Velocity Travel. My name is Trish. Thank you for joining in. So, this is going to be more or less like just a video I figured that I would do to share some things with you guys. So, in this video, we're going to talk about dating abroad. My hair is like all over the place. So, we're going to talk about dating abroad as a Black woman. Okay. Um, so as you know, I've been traveling for about 4 years now as a solo traveler, and dating, is very different nowadays. In the US, I know that a lot of times women have more of the advantage, it seems, on dating sites. We have Tinder, we have Bumble, you have OK Cupid, you have Hinge, and then the list goes on and on. Okay. So I want to talk about like what I use when I'm dating or when I'm trying to get dates, the pros and cons of dating, and the difference of dating American men versus dating men from other countries. Okay. So I'm just going to be very direct. I'm going to just talk about my preferences, what I like, what I don't like, some of the reasons why I'm attracted to certain types of men, some of the reasons why I'm not attracted to other types of men. I want to talk about the things that most women don't talk about or the things that they think may be a little too private. I mean, I feel like there's not enough information on YouTube about like solo traveling and dating as a Black woman. I mean, sometimes people might show their, you know, little mishaps of going on a date and things like that. But, you know, the one thing that I can say is I enjoy dating. Okay. I enjoy dating. I enjoy meeting new people. I enjoy having new experiences. Okay. This is all what traveling is about. So, basically, I use Tinder. Um, I have used Tinder and Bumble. Those are my go-to websites, Tinder and Bumble. But also, you have OkCupid and you have Hinge. I've had some conversation with people on those two, but I've never met anyone or really seen anyone that I'm interested in. If I do, they are like not even in the country that I'm in or close to that. So I don't really fool with those too much. Tinder and Bumble, everyone is looking for different things. It depends what you want on the menu for the night, right? Some people might want to find someone that, they can meet and get to know better, go on dates and have like a boyfriend experience, I call it, and that's fine. Sometimes I do want a boyfriend experience. Sometimes I do want someone that I can go out with on a date and hold hands with and walk on the beach and do all of that with. Okay. And that's good to have as well, especially because I'm a slow traveler. Usually I stay in a country for anywhere from 3 months to 6 months to a year. It just depends. So if I'm traveling slow, I like to kind of move slowly and I like to have sometimes the boyfriend experience. The good thing about having the boyfriend experience with someone that you see on a regular basis is that that person is a local, right? So they can take you to the best spots. They can make sure you get the best prices. A lot of times, men overseas, they cook and, sometimes they cook for you. They take you out. Sometimes you get to meet their family. I'm going to give you an example. So when I first left the States, I had a one-way ticket to Argentina. And I was there for about 8 months. I was in Buenos Aires. I was in Palermo, and then Recoleta, and then Playa de Mayo. Okay. So I stayed in like three different little areas in Argentina in Buenos Aires. And I went on a few dates. I went on a date with, you know, an older guy. I call it an older guy because the thing that I've noticed since I've been traveling is that as a Black woman, we're seen as the exotic creature. Okay. So most of the countries that I travel to, there's not a lot of us around. Okay. So when they see this Black skin, their eyes are popping out and they are going crazy. Everybody wants a little taste of the chocolate, and some women, they may feel like they don't want to be seen as, oh, I don't want to be the person that they try out. Well, I'm trying them out too, right? Nothing is for free. We're trying each other out, learning about your culture, trying to get to know you better, to see what type of person you are, to see if we clash, to see if we get along, things like that. So there's nothing, look, it's just like buying a new car. You want to test drive the car, you want to make sure that you like it, you want to see how it rides, see how it turns, things like that. It's the same with dating. You got to test the waters out a little bit. So, yeah, so this is what I did. When I was in Argentina, I met a lawyer. He was, for me, I say older, because another thing about dating abroad, I found out that younger men are more interested in older women. I don't know if they feel like we can teach them something, or it's just a fantasy of theirs. Frankly, I don't care, right? We're both getting something from each other, right? Whether it's conversation, whether it's, something else, a little personal, whether it's you're being my, you're going to show me around town, and you're going to be my tourist guide or something like that, tour guide or something. Look, we're all doing something for each other, right? We're wanting something from each other. So this is another thing. As an older woman, as an older Black woman, you're going to be um, pursued by younger men. And when I say young, it's not, I'm not saying like, oh, 30. No, they're in their 20s, they're in their 30s, whatever. So it's up to you what you choose. If you're just choosing, like I say, if you want that boyfriend experience and you want someone that's closer to your age, you want someone that's slowed down a little bit, you have that opportunity. But I mean, if you want to be taken on a wild ride and you want to, go at a high speed around those twists and turns, and you want something a little bit younger, hey, there's nothing wrong with that either. So you have, those two choices. So for me, when I was in Argentina and Buenos Aires, I did go out with, I always say older, but I think he was probably 38, 39, 40, something like that. Went on a date, and it was okay. We were supposed to go to the opera and all of this stuff. I will say, I feel like sometimes the men overseas are a little more intimate. Like they like to hold hands. They want to go walk on the beach. They want to like wine and dine you, some of them, right? So this was the experience with him. It was like, I guess, like dating someone in the States. He liked to go out to eat and things like that. It was a few nights that we went out and stuff like that, but that was about it. I was bored. I mean, to be honest, I can be hard to please at times, and I was bored. I like doing new things, but I like someone who has a little bit of energy. He was a little slower pace for me, so that didn't work out. And our personalities kind of clashed too, because his conversation was a little dry. And mind you, I do speak Spanish. I've been learning Spanish for like 4 or 5 years, so my Spanish is pretty good, and his English was pretty good. The thing about it is, most countries that you go to, you're going to basically find most people do speak a little bit of Spanish, or I mean, not Spanish, a little bit of English, basic English, or a lot of them are very fluent in English. So, or just use your Google Translate. Like, if you just want a one hitter quitter and you just want to have some fun for the night, hey, use your Translate, Google Translate. You can do that as well. But, if you want that experience and you want language exchange and things like that, you can do that. And hey, don't judge me. I'm just telling you how it is. Okay. This is an open book. I'm just telling you what's out there. Everybody has a preference. So there you have it. So that was my first experience. And then the second date that I went on, I met a guy, and actually we still communicate today. He was very nice, very nice. He was original. So when I met him, I thought that he was like British because he had this British accent. His English was perfect. And the thing with me is, I love a man with an accent. It just does something for me. So he had a British accent, and I was like, "Oh, okay. Are you from Europe? Are you from the UK? Where are you from?" He was like, "No, I'm from here." But he told me that he studied like for 6 months or a year or something in Europe, at an English language school. So he had this beautiful British accent. He was really nice. And, so he started showing me around, and, he would come over, he would cook dinner for me. Sometimes I would cook for him. And Argentina has the best beef, the best steaks, the best, carne asada, pollo, chicken, the best wine. And sometimes he would bring wine over. I mean, we were having a great time. So this was my boyfriend experience. And then, he would take me out. We would go to see different places in the city. A lot of times you can see a lot of things on YouTube, right? YouTubers, we show a lot of things that, are places that we go, but only a local person can take you to like those hidden treasures, right? So, he would take me to different spots and things like that. And then we would watch movies, the relationship, boyfriend experience type of thing. And he also played in a band. So he played in a band that was like a really good cover band. It was a great band, and I got to meet his band. They all took me out to dinner, and then we went to this play where some of his band members were like participating in this local play and things like that. And his band actually travels around Argentina and South America. So it's a pretty big band. So, I had the pleasure of meeting him and experiencing that, and I really liked it. Just I did once I met him, I really didn't date anyone else. I didn't feel the need to, because he kind of like checked off all of my boxes. And like I say, even today, we still communicate and we still talk and things like that. So that was the boyfriend experience. Now, I was in Brazil and I didn't date anyone there. I was just there for a short period of time, a few months. Um, and I was mostly like Florianopolis. And then I did go to Sao Paulo, but I don't know. At the time, I was trying to get back to the States. I had some things I had to do. So I really wasn't thinking about dating too much. Now, Brazil is a hot spot too. I mean, you got all flavors over there. Whatever you want, it's over there. But I just didn't like spend a lot of time dating. And I just kind of was like, okay, I got to go back to the States for this reason or whatever. And I was just concentrating on that. Now, after I went back to the States, I did go to Thailand, and, I met someone there and spent time with them. I had another experience. I'm just going to say experience. And that went really well. But I will say in Asia, it's more difficult to date because I don't know. You just, for some people, it's just depending on what your attraction for certain people are. For me, I spent time with someone while I was there, and I enjoyed spending time with them. But for some people, Asia is a spot that is more difficult to date. Now, I will say sometimes, you have a dry spot. There are countries where it's like it seems like you may not be able to find people that you're more attracted to, that is your preference. But, always remember to, join some of these Facebook groups and things like that, meetups, because sometimes you actually can run into other travelers, other solo travelers, other expats, and a lot of them are from other countries. Okay, so you can do that. So moving on. Um, Now, Europe. Let's talk about Europe. Okay. I would say, okay, let me go back. I would say in the US, dating can be very difficult, right? You know, um, I've been married before, And, I've dated. And for me, I feel like a lot of men in the US play a lot of games, just point blank, right? They'll ghost you. I mean, and I think that happens sometimes even in some of the other countries, but I feel like I was ghosted more in the US. It was just like, you'll maybe have a conversation with someone and then they just completely disappear. I don't really have too much of that problem when I'm abroad because the men are so anxious. Like they are so anxious to get that exotic fruit, right? That I don't have to, a lot of times I don't have to text them first or I don't have to send them a message first. It can be overwhelming sometimes, if you're in the States and you're going to be going to a country, drop your location on Tinder in that country like 2 weeks before you leave. And you can start to talk to people and things like that. And that's what I've done before. Like I've met people a couple of weeks before I went to a country and then, continued from there. But I just feel like in the States, it's men are a little pushier, and if you're not putting out what they want like right then, or you're not meeting certain standards, then it's just like a buffet. They kind of move on to someone else. And I feel like a lot of times you're the one who has to initiate conversation. And I'm like, we matched with each other. I shouldn't always be the one. I don't feel like that I have to do it all the time. I don't feel like the man should have to do it. But in the States, I felt like the man was always waiting for the woman to initiate the conversation. And then, you know, they would just take you out on random dates. Like to, out to eat, to the, maybe to the movies, maybe, I don't know, to a bar or something. And I remember like a while ago, I watched a video and there was a lady and Kristen travels, and she was saying, once you start dating abroad, you're gonna see like the difference. And she says, once you start dating abroad, you're not gonna want to date in the States. She was like, the date's gonna be completely different. And I didn't understand that, but now I do, because in the States, you're either gonna go to the movies, you're gonna go out to eat, or you're going to go to a bar or something, or they might just want to, smash and grab or whatever. And that's it. But what I've noticed in Europe is that, or just in general, not just in Europe, but as I've been traveling on different continents, dates are different. Like, I've been on the back of a motorbike and been taken on a date to go to the top of the mountain to have some food and see the city from the mountain as a mountain view, or horseback riding on the beach, or just going to a cafe and sitting outside by the beach, a picnic on the beach, going I don't like to hike. Okay, I tell you that I don't like to be. I mean, you would think with me traveling like in Thailand and places like that, being in the jungle, I don't like bugs, and I really don't like to be around any place that I think there's going to be bugs. But or creepy crawlies. I'll say that. But I've been like hiking, like through the woods a little bit in the jungle, and then get to this beautiful waterfall, and we just sit there on the rock and we just talk and put our feet in the water. Like those are dates that I like. You don't have to spend a lot of money. For me, those are the best because those are memories, right? And compared to someone taking me out on $100 dinner date or something like that, or trying to impress me, I don't really care about that. Okay. I just want someone to be nice to me, to show me a good time, to show me that you're interested in me with the basic things. You know, we can get a $3 sandwich or something and go sit on the beach with a bottle of wine, and that's fine for me. So I'm kind of used to those type of dates. Simple, but where you feel like this person wants to be with you, they want to spend time with you. They're actually initiating the fact that you are of some importance to them. So this is what I'm used to. So when I went back to the States this last time, I talked to a few people, a few exes popped up, but it wasn't nothing that I wanted, to be honest. I wasn't trying to go that way because I knew that it wasn't going to be the same. I've already experienced how it is overseas. So yeah. Now, going back, so Thailand. So now that I'm in Europe, okay, uh, Albania, I did date there, and I had the I'm not gonna say a boyfriend experience. I just had an experience with someone, and we kind of liked each other. We spent more time together than I did with other people. The smash and grab. Okay, I've had the smash and grab where you just kind of, you know, do whatever. I'll see you whenever. We talk whenever. If we do, we do. If we don't, we don't. If we see each other out, I mean, we don't even have to acknowledge that we know each other. It's just what it is, right? And yeah, so that, I've had that experience. And then, so what I'm saying is just because you're a woman, people are going to label you, right? They're going to label you because they don't label men. Men can go out and they can have these intimate moments with these people and not have a relationship, and oh, they're just being a man. But if a woman do it, we're called something else. I don't care what people call me, okay? Because I'm living my life to the fullest. Life is short, okay? You only got one life to live. You don't know how much time you have on this earth. And I can say this, you know, I can just say this because, just some things have happened this week with me. I lost, my brother within a month, right? And, you know, life could just be taken away from you. So I'm not going to sit around and just wait and worry about what people say. Oh, you're out there dating, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're too old to do this, you need to have a husband, you need to have a boyfriend, you shouldn't be smashing and grabbing. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, I'm making myself happy. I've worked hard, I've taken care of my son, I handle my business. So anything else anybody says, it doesn't matter. Okay. And for me, a lot of people, of course, people in the States, they're going to say whatever. Oh, she's just lollygagging around and, you know, tiptoeing and hopping around and dating people and doing this. It's fine. It's fine because as a woman, I'm used to that, right? It's okay for men to do it. It's okay for men to go to countries to meet women and stuff. And that's not what I'm doing. I'm not saying that I'm just going to countries to meet men, because that's not what I'm doing. I am dating in the process. Okay. Nobody likes to be lonely. I don't. Solo travel can be very lonely. And sometimes you need a little something warm at night. That's all I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with laying up with someone and spending time and enjoying good adult conversation along with some good adult other things. Okay. So, it's okay to do that. It's okay to enjoy yourself, enjoy your life, because, you know, time waits for no man and it waits for no woman, and everybody has needs, right? If you don't have those type of needs, it's fine. If you just want to hang out and network with other people and have coffee and you want a cold bed every night, that's fine too. But for me personally, hey, there's nothing wrong with a little intimacy. There's nothing wrong with having a boyfriend experience, girlfriend experience, whatever you choose to do, right? That's your business, right? There's nothing wrong with that. So for me, I just want to let you guys know that I'm enjoying life. I mean, and you should too. There's nothing wrong with, meeting people. And also, we're doing some language exchange. I mean, it's just, you get to learn things about them, about their language. You get to pick up a few words here and there, meet and greet. So, yeah, that's basically what I want to talk about. Um, don't feel embarrassed about dating. Don't feel like you can't talk about it. Don't feel like you can't express, feelings towards someone, or to meet someone and have, that moment, or have that boyfriend or girlfriend experience, whatever you want, whatever your choice is. If you date men, if you date women, it's whatever, because at the end of the day, for me, I want to make myself happy, and people are going to talk regardless. They're going to talk whether you're doing good, whether you're bad. And what I've noticed also is that a lot of people that really are not happy, those are the ones who have the most to say. Those are the ones who are always criticizing. And when a person does something different, you are like me. I'm the black sheep of my family. I know that. And it's fine. I'm used to people talking. I'm used to people like leaving me out, not letting me participate in things or talking behind my back. And that has only made me stronger. So why would I worry about that when I am in another on another continent, right? So, but also just be safe. I will say I don't worry so much about safety dating here as I do in the US. We got some crazy people in the US, right? So I don't have to worry. I mean, you still have to be safe. You know what I'm saying? I still make sure that, I'm meeting someone in a lit area around other people and things like that. But I don't have to worry about anyone walking up on me with a gun or doing anything crazy. Anything is possible in any country, but just be mindful. Just have common sense when you're dating. If you're traveling with someone, let that person know where you're going or drop your location, something like that. But also another thing is, a lot of times men are going to ask you, "Are you traveling alone?" Or people ask you that in general. I don't know why, but they always ask you, "Are you traveling alone? Are you traveling with friends? Are you traveling with family?" Because for a lot of people in other countries, women don't really travel alone, right? So women don't really travel alone. So they I want to know who you're traveling with. I never tell anyone that I'm traveling alone. I'm like, no, I'm traveling with my friends, or I have some friends that live in the country, because that's none of their business. That is none of your business. You don't need to know what I do for work. You don't need to know who I'm traveling with. All you need to know is that I'm going to be here a short period of time. We can see each other. We can do whatever we're going to do. And then that's it. You don't need to be asking me a bunch of questions because you're not paying any bills. We're not going to be in a long term relationship. So all of that is like none and void. It's it's not for you to need to know. It's not a need to know thing for you. But so yeah, so anytime people ask you that, just tell them, no, I'm traveling with friends. Okay, because they don't need to know that you're traveling, by yourself. Now I also will say, you know, you're gonna get stares. I get stares, you know, all the time because, like I say, I think they see black people sometimes, black women, but not some countries, not as much, right? And a lot of times they're gonna just assume that because you're black, you're African. No, I'm not African. Oh, are you African? Are you from Africa? No, I'm not from Africa. I'm American. I'm from America. So, I have to clarify because African women and American women, we're completely different, right? So I have to say, no, I'm an American woman. I'm from the US of A, USA. But yeah, sometimes they're just gonna stare, they're gonna look. Um, Sometimes they might want to touch your hair, touch your skin, just be in your space. Sometimes you might be walking and I love you, you're so beautiful. I love your skin, I love your black. You just get all of these things, and at first it can be overwhelming. I mean, it's like being a celebrity. I'm not a Beyonce or anything like that. You can be walking on the beach, and they'll just pull you in, or you could just be walking up the street and they just want to start snapping pictures. And, people start grabbing you and trying to get you in pictures and stuff. Sometimes they can be a little rough and try to manhandle you and like, oh, let's take a picture and stuff like that. Or they want you to talk to their kids or take pictures with their kids and stuff. So as an American, we have this thing where we have our space. Like, this is my space, this is your space. You stay over there, I stay over here. I had to get used to that because in other countries, you could have a chair and you could be sitting here, and then it could be all of these chairs that are free, like, and a person will sit right up under you, right? So I wasn't used to that. I'm not used to people being all up under me. So that was something I had to get accustomed to. it doesn't bother me as much now. Even when you go stand in a line, like if you take one step back, you're stepping on someone's shoe. Like they do not give you any space, right? So that's something I had to get used to. People just like approaching me, trying to take pictures, and just being all up in my space. But yeah, it's sort of like being a celebrity in some places. You have to get used to being stared at. I used to think that it was they didn't like black people, right? But for it wasn't that. It was just that they're just not used to seeing you. So they're gonna look at you like you're like a creature that just dropped out of space because they're not really used to seeing people like that. I mean, I've had people to tell me, "Oh, I've only seen people like you on TV," right? Things like that. And it's funny because I really haven't seen a lot of racism. I will say, if people are being racist, no one ever approached me or said anything like that. I've never been called out of my name or anything like that. Um, so I've never had any issues like that. Now, when I was in Thailand, the building that I lived in, there were a lot of people from like South Korea, China, and Japan. And I remember getting on the elevator one time, and there was all these people there. And Americans, we like to talk. So when I got on the elevator, I was like, good morning, good morning. How are you guys doing? Hope you have a good day. And they were looking at me like, why is she talking to me? Right. And I was like, well, damn, they're not saying anything back. Like maybe they don't like black people. But it wasn't that. It was a cultural thing. I just realized that it's a cultural thing. They don't really talk to you if they don't know you. Like some of my students have told me that they're like, we don't talk to people if we don't know you, we're not gonna talk to you. So I thought I was like, oh my God, they don't like black people. They don't like us. But it wasn't that. They just don't talk to they just don't talk to you if they don't know you. But yeah, I think that's another thing. I mean, with Americans, we are very talkative people. We talk to everybody. Good morning, child. How you doing? Good morning. How are you? Have a good day. What's your name? My name is Trish. Where are you from? Oh, okay. It's nice to meet you. Oh, the weather is great. We have all of these things that we say. We do a lot of small talk, and we just a lot of times we're the ones who start the conversation, right? And the only other people that I really noticed that actually talk like that and will like just have conversation. I know Australians are like that. I've met a lot of Australians since I've been traveling, and they are very talkative as well. And then some of the European countries, like people from the UK, Ireland, actually too, because I met some people from Ireland, and they were, the same. So, yeah. But as far as being a woman and dating and stuff like that, I find it easier. I find it easier. I find that men, they kind of fondle over you a lot. It's just like they want that experience, and I could just say that I like European men so far, and my experiences have been good. Now you have a few that you know you gotta kind of weed out the bad ones, right? You still have those that are going to every now and then you might talk to them and they kind of disappear. Now, I will say men over here are not really good with time management. Their communication skills, some of them can be a little off, right? If they say, there's been times where they'll say, oh, well, we'll do this at this time, and then, you know, it's a different time or something like that. But that's because their life is like in a slower lane. It's not as fast paced. So they're not all about time as Americans are. Like, I want it, we're going to be here. You need to be here. It's not like that traveling. So just because someone said that they're going to pick you up at a certain time or you're going to meet at a certain time, don't expect that. And I've gotten used to sitting, waiting for food or waiting to get my order taken and stuff like that. I mean, and it's not like the customer service is bad. It's just like people are not so fast to move. So dating can be the same. But you still have, like I said, you still have to weed through the bad ones. But they will tell you what they're looking for. Like I will say that When you meet them online or if you meet them anywhere, they will say, "Are you looking for a relationship? Are you looking for one hitter quitter?" That's what I'll say. Are you, what are you looking for? And they don't mind asking. I don't mind telling, hey, this is what I'm looking for at this time. We can meet for a coffee, or we can meet for a drink, or we can meet for other things. Hey, the ball is in your court. So I will say that you have um, a lot of choices. I would say, like, when I dropped my location when I was in the US, and I dropped my location here in about a month before I came here to Georgia. I dropped my location. In 2 days, I probably had over 500 matches. Like, people had sent me, like, so kind of have the pick of the litter, because they see that, you know I'm an American. That's what my that's what my when you look into my profile, I do have, I'm an American woman, blah 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 blah. And you know so at least they know I need someone that can at least speak a little bit of English. We got to be able to communicate. And like I say, for the most part, younger men are more attracted to me. I mean, I do get some older men, but I think I have a younger personality, so I do prefer men who are younger than me. And so I usually get younger men. And I will say the younger generation, actually, a lot of them don't really take any English classes or anything like that. They just learn English like on their own. So yeah, so a lot of times there isn't now. Not to say that the English is perfect, because you're gonna have some broken English, some words you're gonna have to try to figure out. If they sending you a message, you might have to listen to it a few times. But hey, nothing is perfect. The world we live in isn't perfect. As long as I know what you're saying and I can I can kind of piece it together like a puzzle, we're good. But yeah, so yeah, so ladies, just have fun, enjoy your life. Don't worry about what people say, what people think. Go on dates, have fun, experience, the travel life, experience dating culture. You know, like I said, have that boyfriend experience, have that one hitter quitter, have, that person in the middle that maybe you see a few times. The ball is in your court. The ball is definitely in your court. You can tell them what you want, and either they can say, okay, yeah. And I can almost guarantee you that whatever you tell them, they're going to be fine with it, right? Because, you're an exotic creature, to them, right? And Black women, we're beautiful. And, as we age gracefully. And the thing is, in a lot of these other countries, when you see the women, a lot of people smoke, a lot of people drink a lot. So, it shows in their skin, they, they wrinkle really fast, they start to age really quickly. So we, regardless of our age, we always look a lot younger, right? So a lot of times, if you meet someone outside of a dating app that doesn't have your age on it, I used to worry about my age a lot because it does show my age, but they don't care. They really don't. It doesn't, age doesn't even matter. And then I would say, well, did you see how old? Oh yeah, that's not. They don't care. Well, you don't look that age. Okay, well, but if you're out and about and no one really knows your age or anything like that, they're just going to assume that you're a lot younger anyway, because, like I say, we age gracefully. It's this beautiful black skin, right? This melanin. So yeah, just like I say, have fun. I just wanted to do this video because, you know, there's not a lot of videos that talk about dating, and things like that. But I do feel like, again, dating is easier overseas. I feel like as a black woman, I'm more appreciated. Um, I Men are more gentle, I will say, in a sense. They care about what you think and how you feel, and you don't have to, like. give them your life story. You don't have to bring so much to the table. It's just, it's easy. And at this point in my life, I'm looking for things that are convenient and are easy. I don't want to work hard at nothing, right? I don't want to compete with nobody. I don't want to make it seem like I'm more than what I am. Um, I don't want to have to like do all of these extra things. I just want to be myself. I want to wear comfortable clothes, and I don't want to, I mean, yeah, I do. It's okay to dress up. There's nothing wrong with that. But in the States, everything is all about, you know, putting on heels. And for years, that's all I did was wear like stilettos and dresses and all of this stuff. Now I love my dresses. I still wear dresses, but now it's dresses and sandals because I walk a lot. I want to be comfortable. So, it's not all about, oh, you know, name brand stuff and you got to look like this and you got to look like that. The men here, they want you for you. All of this beautiful chocolate, that's what they want. They don't care if you have on, they don't really care what you wear. So you don't have to worry about all of that. I mean, we always keep ourselves up anyway and we always look presentable, but you don't have to worry to try to impress anyone. Just your natural look and your beautiful black skin is going to be like a magnet. It's going to be like water in a sponge. It's going to soak them all up. And that's what it does. All right. So, guys, thank you for joining me. And I look forward to talking with you guys again. All right. So, thank you for joining in at Velocity Travel. Have a good night. And make sure you like, subscribe, share, and comment. Have a good day.